Welcome to another video in my natural makeup series. It's been a while since I filmed one of these, but we're back. And today is going to be all about eyeshadows and eyeliners. So just keep in mind as I give you tips and tricks and things to think about, everything that I talk about is going to be geared towards how to get the most natural look possible. Because of course there are so many tips when it comes to eyeshadows and eyeliners and everything, but because this is a natural makeup series, my tips are focused on how to get the most natural look. I don't always follow these rules and do my eye looks this way because sometimes I am going for like a statement look or like a trendy look or just something specific. But this is all about keeping it natural. My name's Karina if you are new, and welcome to my channel. My channel is focused all on a natural, simple, classy makeup. I really hope you enjoy this video and I hope you enjoy this series. Let's get right into it. So I'm going to start by talking about eyeshadows and then we'll move into eyeliners. When it comes to eyeshadow, color choices are really important when you are trying to get just a very natural look. A good rule of thumb is to just keep it neutral and matte, and you really can't go wrong. So when I say neutral, I'm like talking about flesh tone colors, any shade of brown and cream, and then also like roses and blushes and mauve tones can look really nice on the eyes. I'll show you a couple palettes that I have that are really good neutral color choices. This one I've talked about many times, the Natural Nudes Born This Way Too Faced eyeshadow palette. I really like this one because it does have lots of shades of brown, but it also has those roses and mauve tones in, which I use quite often. And it also has like eyeshadow toppers that are more shimmery and stuff, but there's a lot of matte shades in here as well. So this is like probably my favorite palette ever. And then I've got this Soft Glam palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This one's a little bit more like for drama, but you can get a lot of nice natural looks out of this one as well. So there's a lot of browns and kind of like peaches, oranges. So this is a really pretty choice. There are so many natural eyeshadow palettes out there. Makeup by Mario just came out with like a natural matte palette, which I think looks really good. I haven't tried it, but the colors in there are really nice. Before we get into eyeshadow placement, I also just wanted to talk about cream eyeshadows. Cream eyeshadows are really nice for me personally. I use them for like one and done looks. I'll just put the cream all over, blend it out with a brush, and that's it. No other colors on top. And I like the creams because they do kind of melt into your skin and they look like they're seamlessly just a part of your skin. So for natural eyeshadow looks, I think those are really pretty. Here's an example. I have this Velvet Shadow Stick by NARS, and this is in the color Oaxaca, and I'll show you what it looks like. So something like this, I would just smudge all over my eye and then a little bit on my lower lash line and be done. Let's talk about eyeshadow placement. It's really quite simple. Usually it's just with 3 shades. So you pick one kind of lighter shade that goes all over your lid, and then you'll pick like a transition shade, so like a little bit more of a medium tone shade, which will go into your contour areas like your crease, and then a darker shade or like your deepest shade choice would go more on the outer corner of your eye. So let's go through an example. I did my eye look today based on that kind of set of rules. The reason why this set of rules is so good is because it doesn't matter what color choices you have. As long as you choose like the light, medium, and dark, and then follow that system, you'll always get a really pretty eye look. So today I chose the color Petal and I put it all over my eyelid, and then I always bring my shadow up a little bit higher because I do have like a really prominent brow bone, but it's up to you. You can just keep it right to your lid space. And then I just blend that out with a fluffy blending brush. In today's tutorial, I'm using the Sigma E25. It's just a classic fluffy eye blending brush. And then to deepen my crease up a little bit, I used the color Nude. And when you're going to do your crease, the easiest way I find to do it is to look in a mirror, tilt your head back, and then kind of look down into that mirror, and you'll be able to see where your lid space is and where your crease is very easily. And then I just take my brush, dip it into the medium shade, mine is Nude, and then just kind of follow along my crease. So first I'll place the product using like a windshield wiper motion, and then I kind of go back and do these tiny little circular motions just to make sure everything is blended out really seamlessly. And whatever I'm using on top, I also kind of add to the lower lid. So for the first shade Petal, I added that to my entire lower lid. For the second shade Nude, I added that just to kind of the outer corner. And then the third and deepest shade I chose was Truffle, which is like a deep brown. And that's when I switched to a smaller brush, and I'm using the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH40. So it's just a smaller version of an eye blending brush. Now the important thing when you're going in with darker shades is to really focus on product placement. So place the product down first And then once you're happy with where it is, then you can go back and start blending. If you just hit your eye and start blending it out, it's going to be smudgy and messy, and you'll get like brown shadow in areas that you don't really want it. So really place it carefully first, and then it even helps if you just like wash that brush off or wipe it off on a, not wash it, but wipe it off on a paper towel or something, and then go back in and blend it out. That's just really going to help you with controlling your eyeshadow placement. If you want your eyeshadows to look really natural, focus on blending. Spend time to really blend the colors out. Just keep looking in the mirror and seeing if everything is nice and seamless, and if it's not, just keep going. You can technically over blend because you don't want everything to look like it's all part of one, but it's kind of hard to do that. I would recommend more blending than less blending. Another really good tip, after you're finished and you're pretty happy with your look, just take a clean eyeshadow brush that has nothing on it and go back in and kind of run over all of the edges and run over those transition points in your eye just to make sure that you don't have any harsh edges. So just follow that classic eye blending system with any light, medium, and deep shade that you choose, and you can never really go wrong. It's just going to give you the most natural and seamless look. All right, let's talk about liners a little bit. You might not be a liner person at all, and that is totally fine. I just made a video on eyeliner placement for different eye shapes, and that really might help you kind of figure out why eyeliner isn't looking good on you and how to kind of fix that. I'm going to link that right up above because I think that is a really helpful video. But the following tips I'm going to give you are very natural and they'll suit every single eye shape. So the first tip I have for you, kind of an obvious one, but to keep your liner looking more natural, or just to keep your whole eye look more natural, choose browns instead of blacks. Black is just a very harsh color. It's harder to work with as well. And so unless you have a very deep skin tone and like brown to black eyes, then I would choose a brown eyeliner. Pencil eyeliners over liquid liners are also going to look a little bit more natural, just because liquid liners are a little bit more harsh. They're not something that you can blend out and make look as natural. Of course, I use liquid liners for like statement looks and, you know, more of a dramatic eye look, wings and things like that. But when we're talking about keeping everything natural, a pencil is going to be your best bet. A small tip I have for you before you use those liners is just to sharpen them. When they're dull, it's just really hard to work with. You can't place the product exactly where you want it, so it won't be as precise. It might be a little bit more messy. So just give it a good sharpen before you go to use it each time. The first tip I have for you when it comes to eyeliner is to place it in your waterline instead of on your actual lid. So I'm specifically talking about the upper lash line when we're talking about like a dark brown eyeliner. Line the upper lash line inside of your eyelid in the waterline. So that is going to give you definition without adding any drama, and it'll also just make your eyelashes look a lot thicker. This works for everybody. It doesn't matter what eye shape you have, and it doesn't matter what skin color you have or anything like that. It's just a really good tip to really define your eye. And then kind of on the reverse of that, using a nude eyeliner on the lower waterline is a really good way to brighten up your eyes and make them look bigger. Oftentimes when I get up in the morning, my eyes are kind of like red and bloodshot, and I'll just put this nude waterline. It just makes me look way more alive, less tired. If you want to create further definition, take that brown liner and just draw tiny little dots, wiggle it right in between your eyelashes, and then smudge it out with either a really thin kind of smudging eyeliner brush, or even just using your finger is really easy and totally does the trick. I have this really thin eyeliner smudging brush. This is Lancome 14. So I'll use something like that to smudge out my product. So this is going to give you a little bit more drama, not much. It's still a very natural look, and it's just going to thicken up your lash line a little bit more and further help to define your eyes. Both of these tips or techniques are great because they're almost undetectable by the time you put mascara on. It just gives you definition without looking like an obvious liner. And then another tip I have for you is, instead of using a liner in the traditional sense, just use your eyeshadow as a liner. So for this, you do kind of need like a really small eyeliner brush or like an angled brush. Just dip it into your eyeshadow and then just line using that. And that'll just give you a soft and more diffuse look. So again, just kind of more of a natural way of wearing a liner while still adding definition to your eyes. I hope those tips were helpful. Like I said, I don't always use those specific techniques when I go to do my eye makeup, but when you're kind of new to makeup, or you are just trying to keep everything as natural as possible, maybe for work looks or just for like daytime looks, whatever it is, those techniques are really going to help you when you're thinking about eyeshadow and eyeliner and placement and how to just look as natural as you can. Now, the next video I'm filming for my natural makeup series will be talking all about eyelashes. Eyelashes, false eyelashes, mascaras, serums, all keeping in line with the most natural way to do things. So stay tuned for that video. Thank you for watching this one. As always, if you have any questions, leave them down below and I'll definitely get back to you. And definitely subscribe to my channel if you are into natural makeup like me. I would love to have you here. Thanks again, and I'll see you in my next video.